Hello everyone. I wanted to go over some of the things that I've discovered today regarding your new email account. So I thought I'd start from the beginning. Let's set it up, and you can see in my case, this particular computer just has Outlook set up with my lab email account, and I want to change over to the new one so that I can use some of those extra features. So I'm going to go into Account Settings, and let's go back. I went to File, Account Settings again. Then I went into New, and I type in my new email address. And everyone's was, most of you are just with your first name in here. Mine is M. Cleaves, and I've done this once. So this is the correct email address I want to use, is this one. And so I'm going to connect to that one. And it will then ask me for my password, which you want to use the password that I gave you. So here it comes, and I don't want to set it up on my phone. I've already given it my password once, so it found it. Now, in the next stage, what I want to do here is to set this as my default. Then I'm going to turn around and go to the data files and set it as my default as well. Okay, that will help some of the processes you have. Well, it works fine if you do it. If you're not doing it the second time. I think it's confused now about the. You need to set that one as the default on yours. I did it the first time; it worked fine. So now let's go back. And what's happening now is it's associating itself with the global address list. And this is where we had a few problems in that I brought over all the contacts for you thinking I was making your life easier, and they didn't come through correctly. So you can't even use the ones that I originally brought over. So if you come through here and just copy all the ones that are in there and delete them, then come to your address book. And what you'll find is there's a section called Global Addresses. And we want the global addresses. They haven't come in yet, but they will in just a second. I'll give this a few minutes to happen. So I'm going to pause the video right here. Okay, so what I did is I went out and came back in again, and you might need to wait in a good 5 minutes because it's populating from the internet. So if I come here now I look at my global address list, I'm going to see this list. Now on this list there was a bunch of people from computer services that you don't need. So what I did is I highlighted, but what I'm seeing is some people have already started adding to this list, which is not what you want to do. This is the wrong list to add to. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to highlight the first name on this list, and then I'm going to come down to the bottom name, hold down my shift key and hit. That should grab them all. But then I'm going to deselect these others because they've come in here by mistake because people have tried to add them to the global list, and that's just not going to work. Okay, so here, those are the addresses that you should have, every one except for these that are appearing here. And that's the class list. Now what I would do is right-click this list and add it to my contacts. So now it's not going into coming from my global list, it's actually going into the contacts on my computer. And it will also go into my contacts for my account. But that's the difference is a global list is talking about everything on the Exchange server. And it looks like some people have accidentally tried to do some of these lessons and added some contacts to the list that are going to confuse the situation. So you want to make sure that you're in contacts and see how they all came in. And then all I would do at that point is just change this option and bring it so that start with contacts. Okay, and make sure that I'm starting with my regular contact list. And let's see what happens when I open. And I should be getting this list of contacts. Okay, so now I've got my list of contacts the way that I want, and it has the email address and the information is correct. So if you can do that, that will work for you. So it's just bringing over those addresses from the global list. So thank you, and thank you for all your patience. Bye.